So, I just got done playing Riftblade for the first time, and I've got to say this is one of the best deck builders I've ever played. The games were so intuitive and fun, and I feel like a lot of games claim to be super easy to pick up, but then you actually get into it and you play a more, even a slightly more seasoned player who's played for like 5 more minutes, and you just get absolutely destroyed, and it's kind of not that much fun. The satisfaction that you gain from comboing the cards together in this is like absolutely incredible. Like, you are able to pretty quickly just lay down a whole string of cards, which just feels like, I mean, not to use the phrase, but empowering. It genuinely does feel like, you're like, yes, this is so freaking awesome. And you can chain all these cards together, and actually you can go from feeling completely down and out. As an example, I had this one turn where I had 1 card in my hand, but luckily it was a redraw card, and then I was like, bam, played that, redrawed, and then I could just keep on comboing new cards, and it was so satisfying. And I went from having 1 card in my hand to suddenly playing this like combo of 5 or 6, and it all kind of happened because I'd managed to build my deck quite well with lots of the similar aspects so that they would all link together and chain together. It was absolutely amazing and genuinely so much fun. And I think there's so many really nice little random elements in the sense that you have to roll all these 6 rift stones. You don't quite know what you're gonna get. You might see a card come into the rift and you're like, oh, I really want that, but then you don't quite get enough mana, so you're like, okay, how am I gonna play around that? What's the new strategy? Like, can I suddenly use some of these empowering dice to just do a bunch of damage in this turn, and that's my focus? And then I just really, really enjoyed the way it was super intuitive, like it flowed really, really easily. And the only thing that really derails you is when your opponent suddenly asks you to discard like half of your hand, and then you're like, wait, I had a whole thing planned. Why would you do this? Which is actually, again, really fun. And it's kind of rare, again, to have a game where stuff like making your opponent discard cards or lose life, whatever, it still feels satisfying. Like, it still feels like a satisfying part of the game, as opposed to it being like, oh, I just can't do something now. It just means that you have to think more creatively on your next turn to find like a new route to do the thing that you want to do. Because it doesn't sort of stop you or block you from doing stuff if you lose half of your hand. It just means you have to be a little bit more clever about what you were planning to do in the first place. The flow of it is really, really amazing. I genuinely love like the design of all of the cards, like the way that they all connect together is absolutely epic. And like, it's also just so beautiful and colorful. Like, I love the design of it. I think it looks beautiful. Some of the cards in here are just like, yeah, stunning, so satisfying to play. It flows so easily. Like, I literally played my first proper game on camera, and I didn't feel like a fool. It was great. And then we got the opportunity to play 2 of the expansions, which was Weavings and Voidspawn, and I loved these. These really felt like they took the game up to like a new level, because suddenly in Weavings, you're kind of encouraged to like chain more things and really focus in on specific aspects. And if you do, you can have some really satisfying and honestly really devastating combos. But I gotta be honest, my favorite is the Voidspawn, because you just get little guys on the board, and those little guys can help you out constantly. They actually stay on the board once you've like paid for them. They can help absorb damage. They have little benefits, which can just, again, they stack up so quickly and so easily. And who doesn't like summoning some cool void beasts? Like, that's just epic. That's really, really cool. So I love the way that the expansions not just add to the game, but they actually introduce new aspects. Not as in new aspects like these, but as in new aspects to the game mechanics. So yeah, I think it's absolutely incredible. I hope that you check it out. I genuinely had so much fun, and I really want to play again. But I worry that no one's going to want to play with me because I'm really, really good at it. And everyone thought that I was going to be bad. Everyone was doubting me. They said, no, there's no way that you could possibly beat the incredible Spice 8 Rack. Well, beat them twice.